just discussing this very issue yesterday when I had a chance to talk about the importance of voting with the Immigrant Welcome Center here in Indianapolis. And this question was raised, what can you do to participate in politics if you are not already a citizen? And I think this is a question that is raised over and over again in different immigrant communities. Well, I always like to hold up the example of Hmong Americans because I think they're really interesting, fascinating, and set a good example for other groups to follow. Not only do I study Hmong Americans in my current research, but I think they really offer a model for political engagement that more of us can really hold up. So Hmong Americans are very interesting because compared to other Asian American groups, they vote more than anyone else. They vote higher in average participation. I think in 2012, they were tied with Japanese Americans for voter participation. 89% voted for president, compared to 79% for other Asian Americans. So they're interesting for that reason. But I bring them up because they don't just show up at the polls. Some of them aren't citizens, for example. So what they have cultivated over the past 40 years is a whole culture of civic engagement and political participation, where family members talk to older generation and the younger generation and value public service and engagement in government in a way that's very different from other Asian immigrants. There is a value placed in voting and participating in the community and in public life that we don't see with other immigrant and refugee groups. And so you see different people in different, with different political statuses, maybe some able to vote, maybe some not, all talking about issues, working in organizations that serve the community. Maybe they're not able to vote themselves, but they're talking with other members of the community who can. Maybe they're supporting institutions that mobilize voters, like community organizations or labor unions. So I think that what they really illuminate is that in order to make sure that a community shows up at the polls, you don't need to just focus on the 100 days or the 30 days before an election day. You need to have a whole multi-pronged effort to cultivate positive commitment to political participation, which is what we see Hmong Americans do.